What's up, guys? Autofanatic, got a new car. First wash is happening right now. Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. Go on my channel. I did a quick review of it the other day. There's going to be a lot more content of this car. It is freaking incredible. My new daily driver. We're going to get started with a full wash. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about some other stuff that's going on. So we're all set up. Let's get started on the rims. All right, guys, we're going to get started cleaning the wheels. And just want to show you guys something that I did. I modified my wheel woolies. I added a handle to them. This is just a prototype idea. I'm most likely going to start offering something like this in my web store because it just gives you much better leverage to go in there and clean the wheels. In my bucket here, I have a small 3-gallon bucket. I just have a couple of ounces of my 007 gloss enhancer and some water. I got my detailer's choice tire scrubbing brush. We got, of course, the Autofanatic final version of the wheel cleaning foam in my IK9 foamer. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about what's going on with that and what the big delay has been, because a lot of guys are driving me crazy. Wheel cleaner, you guys don't understand what it takes to develop a chemical product and bring it to market. It is a substantial amount of work. So let's get started here. Now this is the final version of the wheel foam. And it's a lot thicker and works a lot better than version 3. And version 3 was the version that was in all my videos on my channel to date. This is the first video where you're seeing version 4, the final version. So the situation with the wheel cleaner is we were going into production a number of months ago, and I was working with a smaller mom and pop chemical company, and we did an order for 3 totes. Now, if you guys don't know what a tote is, it's about 300 gallons of chemical. We did some quality control. There was an issue. They didn't compound the formula properly. There was sediment in the bottles. It was a total disaster that we're still undergoing legal litigation right now to get our money back. I invested a substantial amount of money in 3 totes of chemicals that have now gone to waste. So I picked up the pieces. I took the formula, hired a new company of scientists and chemists to work with me. One of them is from Dow. The other one is from BASF. These are like not in the car care industry. And we took that Formula 3 and we kicked it up a notch even further, like you guys are going to see here. And as a result, the formula is finished. And the tricky thing when you're doing chemical manufacturing is you have to vet the labs. So this time around, we're using a properly vetted lab that's IS 9001 compliant. They also will compound according to the formulary. They also will use the very specific raw materials that have to go into this formula, because a lot of labs that we were approaching, they do not want to use your raw materials. They want to use their raw materials because they're getting it at a cheaper price. They make more money that way. This is a serious investment of time. I've been working on this for years, and I'm not going to let another company screw me over and make me lose another 6 months of my time. Nobody wants the wheel cleaner out more than me, okay? I have well over $175,000 of my money, no venture capital money, invested in this way before I started YouTube. And when I saw the demand on YouTube, that just made me take an existing project I was working on and pretty much put some more money into it and try to get it to the ground. So it's coming soon. We're waiting for legal paperwork. When the lab that's going to produce and bottle the Autofanatic wheel cleaner signs over the paperwork, we have a provisionary patent in process as well. Once they give me scheduling of the production, we're opening up the web store for an initial pre-order. I have over 60,000 inquiries of people that want this product. So we're going to do a pre-order. We're going to probably do 10,000 bottles to start, and then we're going to see where it goes from there. But super excited. This stuff is not easy. It's very complicated because you're working with raw materials, working with a lot of suppliers of raw materials. You're working with labs that what appears on the internet, then you go there to vet them when you travel outside the state, and then the lab is just nothing more than a shipping warehouse. So it's just been a total learning curve, one of the most expensive learning lessons of my life in business today, but I'm sticking with it. We're almost there. You guys could see, I mean, version 4 is legit. So let's just get this thing rinsed off right now, and we're going to move over to the back wheel. You guys can see it's flawless. I barely did any agitation. I used the wheel woolies just because, like I said, I've been driving the car, and I just wanted to go in there and just talk to you guys a little bit more about what's going on. And that's it. Let's move over to the next wheel. We're over at the rear wheel now. Another thing I noticed on my new car, we got anodized parking brake calipers, which is probably going to be an issue. They already look discolored from whatever the dealer cleaned the car with. I actually told them, don't touch this car, don't clean it. And I want to pretty much do a wash right now and kind of assess where it needs to be. But I'm sure I'm going to have to do a little bit of polishing and clay work and everything in between. But now the front tire that I just cleaned did not have any nasty silicone tire dressing, but this particular tire does. So just going to use my tire brush here. And the great thing about my wheel cleaning foam is that it's an incredible tire cleaner as well. So you don't need to use another product. You don't need to use a degreaser. You guys can see what it's doing right there. It's taking everything off the tire. And these brushes are great. The curve of them will get any tire dressing that's on the dangerous part of the tire, where a lot of sloppy detailers like to do that on performance car, and then you take a turn and you end up in a ditch. So do that quick. I'm going to get a small wheel woolly just to get into the barrel a little bit, get into the caliper. But the wheel cleaning foam is so effective that you guys that have high performance cars, whether it's a Corvette, Mustang, Camaro, Alfa Romeo, Maserati, Porsche, you guys pick this up, you're not going to spend 3 hours cleaning your wheels ever again. I will guarantee that. It's just super easy, with or without agitation. Now this car has no protection on it whatsoever. There's no wax, there's no ceramic coating, there's nothing. This is as it came from the dealer, transported on an open carrier to New York about 36 hours ago. And that's it. So let's get the power washer and we're going to get that hose off for you. I got to tell you one thing too, these wheels are really easy to clean. Nice open spoke design. You can kind of get the wheel woolly all the way in there. You're not going to really get a lot of junk around the lug barrels. Super easy wheel to clean. I like them a lot better than some of the wheels that I've cleaned on cars that I've owned. You also could get your hand in between the caliper, which is great. So if you guys want, you could take a small wheel woolly and kind of get in there like that to get your caliper detailed, which is great as well. Because that's really something that annoys me on a lot of performance cars. You can't get in there unless you pop the wheels off. And a lot of guys aren't going to pop the wheels off on a maintenance watch. So let me finish up the remainder 2 wheels, and then we're going to get this thing foamed up and washed for you. That's it. We'll go in there with the small wheel woolly again. We're just going to go in there and touch up the spokes a little bit. The wheel cleaner is pretty much doing all the job, but I like to do this just to guarantee that you get every last spot. You can't really rely on any kind of chemical to always get every little nook and cranny. That's why as humans we have tools. And tools are meant to be used. This is actually therapeutic right now. So relaxed, nice and quiet, nice weather right now. It's not too hot, not too cold. The weather's been kind of crazy the last couple of days with storms and bizarre weather. But that's it. So just want to let you guys know too, you know, a lot of guys are impatient about this wheel cleaning system. I am not going to put out an inferior product. I'm not going to put out a product that I don't stand by 100%. I already put out 2 products. You guys are blown away. I shipped thousands of bottles all over the world. That's because I spend a lot of time in R&D and testing and testing and testing. This is perfected. This is finished. Now we're at the final stages of going to production. We have one of the best industrial chemical labs in the United States that is signing the contract to produce the autofanatic wheel cleaning foam for you guys. This is going to guarantee quality, consistency, and exactly what I want using my raw materials and my specific formulary. The way it's got to get done with certain ingredients going before other ingredients. It's got to be heated up, it's got to be cooled, it's got to be heated up again. It's a very complicated process that a chemist or anybody that plays with this stuff would totally understand. So be patient, guys, because you see it here. This is going to be the best wheel cleaning system in the world, and we're going to be shipping it all over the world. So let's get this wheel rinsed off. How dirty this one is. And the gunmetal gray finish definitely hides a lot. And you can see the caliper right there, but the final version of the wheel foam just knocks it out with pretty much little to no effort. That's it. Grab the tire scrubber. Another thing too I want to mention, if any of you guys are following what's going on, I'm sure you do, in the detailing world, Griot's Garage came out with their new Boss foam system, which I absolutely love it. And they also had a component from that system, which is the stripping agent, which is like an orange solution. And they had it in their catalog, and then they pulled it out immediately. You know why? And that's because I speak to them internally, is that they had a problem with raw materials and compounding it, and they had to start up with a new formula right now that they're still testing and developing. Now, Griot's Garage has hundreds of millions of dollars behind him. He has his own chemical lab in Indiana, and he has enough resources to build anything he really wants. And they pulled it out of the catalog, and it's been now several months, and we still don't see it because, like I said, this stuff takes time. You cannot just rush it to market. There could be liability issues, there could be quality control issues. There's just too many variables at stake when you're dealing with chemicals and handling of chemicals and, you know, everything in between. And that's another thing that we had with the version 3 of the wheel cleaning foam. There was a proprietary ingredient that was coming from another country. I believe it was coming from Belgium, and we were just having a hard time getting it. And it became an issue where the compounder decided to try to sacrifice getting that ingredient and using something else, and everything went haywire, and here we are now. Now we finally have a formula that we can get all the ingredients domestically, all QC'd, all IS 9001 compliant, and this is going to be legit. So probably in about another 1 to 2 weeks, we'll open up the pre-order, and then shortly after they give me scheduling, you guys are going to start getting your bottles, and this thing is going to go bananas. So it's just a preliminary rinse. We're going to rinse it more when we foam the car. You guys can see the results. Flawless inside the barrel, everywhere in between, flawless. So let's get set up. We're going to start foaming the car down, and we're going to go through a full wash. Alright guys, so we just foamed her up. Now we got my 2 buckets. We got the Griot's Garage foaming surface wash in bucket 1 with the new pad on my modified wash mop kit. So we're just gonna do a slight agitation, start at the roof, the carbon fiber roof. And having the mop just makes life that much easier. And I'll have these back in stock in my store soon. Just the response has just been overwhelming. I can't keep these things in stock long enough. So if you guys want one, just email me or wait for you to see inventory that shows on my web store. That's that. And I gotta tell you, just from the shape of this car, it's relatively easy to clean. It's very flat, curvaceous. There's no sharp undercuts of the body, and I could tell this is going to be very different than cleaning my other cars. And I installed the carbon fiber grill overlay this morning. That video was posted already on the channel, and I think it looks good. The door mirror caps, those are going to get pulled off in favor for some carbon fiber. You guys could see a lot of the junk. There's probably a lot of rail dust on this car, and you could see it there. And the car got delivered at like 10 o'clock at night, so I couldn't really see it. Always open up your fuel door because you're always going to get foam in there. All right, guys, we got the Ego blower. I swear by this thing. All right, guys, so magic in a bottle, 007 gloss enhancer. If you guys haven't picked up a bottle, go to my web store and grab one. This is going to be the best product you ever used to dry your car and keep it looking amazingly fresh. Compatible with all ceramic coatings, waxes, sealants, and glaze. And then I got my Grey's PFM drying towel right here. And we're just going to go and do it up. And you guys could see that. So I could already see it's got some acid rain marks. This car is probably sitting on the dealer's lot. Yeah, a little bit here. Yeah, this car is going to need a full detail. Now that I got the car cleaned, I'm starting to see a lot of stuff. Yeah, over here too. And by using the 007, you're reducing any dry-induced scratches because it eliminates all the friction between your drying towel and the paint. And that's what you want. That's what drying aids are supposed to do. You guys can see that there. So I do see some watermarks that are etched in. It could be acid rain from sitting on the dealer's lot. I told the dealer, don't touch the car. Just get it up to me as soon as possible. And yeah, it gives me something to do. This is the fun part. This is what I enjoy. Just kind of going over these things and playing with something new. A new car, new shape, new paint. And yeah, it just looks good though. So I already noticed down here, there's some scratches from getting in and out. Most likely could have been from the transport guy. But you know, we're gonna do some videos on this car anyway, so that's gonna be some of the stuff. So now we're gonna just touch up the wheels and do the tires. And then the final step, I have to do the exhaust tips because they're pretty nasty. And they most likely were never cleaned. So we're gonna take care of all of that. I'm gonna show you guys start to finish. And 007, when you're done with your car to clean the rims, it's just incredible. And whatever residue's in there, that's from when I drove the car back and forth. It comes out from the veins of the rotor. So you stick your hand in there, see best you can, and kind of get some of that out. But I'll show you guys another tip one day in another video on how to do this before a car show without even washing the car. Because I actually did it a couple of weeks ago with the Shelby when I went to an event. That's it. Now we're going to use the Chemical Guys VRP on the tires. I don't want a slick finish. I want a satin finish. And this works really well. And these are track tires on this car. These are Pirelli Corsas. You got to stay away from that leading edge. And the wax pads just work great. They're simple. And this is a water-based product, so you don't need to wear gloves. And it looks like there's a lot more residue in the barrel on this one from the rotors spitting it out when I move the car. So this is going to be another one of my cars where cleaning it is going to be a nightmare because it's black and it has high carbon content brake compound. But the cool thing is you just get your hand in there and just knock it out quick. And I'm using the Grio's Garage smaller detailing PFM towels. This is usually what I dedicate for wheels. They sell these in a 2-pack. And I like them. They just work great. Especially when you're trying to get any kind of little residue off. They just have enough tooth to the microfiber blend to just make sure you get it off completely without going over it like 10 times. So that's done. Get some more VRP. And another good thing about using the wax pads, being that it's so absorbent, you could control the sheen and any kind of residue by just going over the perimeter of the tire sidewall just a few more times. All right, wheel number 3. Just hit it with some 007 just to make sure any little brake dust that I missed in the rinse down. See, when we rinse down wheels, we're usually going down or straight ahead. We're not going up, and usually up as you rotate the wheel, you're going to miss spots. I don't care how meticulous you are, you're going to. It's just the way it is. You know, our eyes can only view so much. Inside the barrel. Yeah, I actually really like these wheels a lot, that I could stick my hand inside the barrel to dry them. Now on my GT350, I just ordered a new set of wheels in 20-inch. And one of the reasons why, I wanted to be able to get in there and clean better. So we're going to see how that works out. Apparently they guarantee that there's going to be a lot more clearance between the caliper and the barrel. So that's important to me. Yeah, it looks good. Some more VRP. I love coming over to the last rim. It's kind of like mentally tells you you're almost done with your job. I remember when I was a kid, when I had my first detailing gig, and I would do like 7 cars a day with rotary power tools, and I would be exhausted. And always when I got to the last rim to clean and put tire dressing on, it was like a sigh of relief. But right now this is actually a relatively easy wash. This car is really easy to clean. I only see a couple of issues with water, and it's not coming from the weather stripping, it's actually coming out of the drains inside the aluminum doors. So I think it's going to be one of those things where it's going to have to drain out for a while, and then I'm going to have to touch up some of the drips on the rocker panels maybe an hour or so from now. And there's not a lot of water accumulation inside the lug pockets. That's another thing that I like. So sometimes you get a lot of water in there, you can't get it out, and when you drive, if there's any debris, it's going to get all over your rim, and you're going to see dark brown streaks. But so far this is going really well. Not really breaking a sweat. It's a pretty easy car to clean, I got to tell you. So far, anyway, from my first wash. We'll see how well everything goes when I have to polish it out and everything. But I think it's going to be relatively easy, because I've always had sedans, and this car has a pretty slab side to the body design, and everything's pretty flat. There's not a lot of sharp cuts into the design and everything in between. Alright guys, so we're over at the back of the car. We're going to use my Glip Tone medium metal polish. The tips are nasty. We're just going to use a cheap microfiber towel, nothing fancy, that's all you really need. And this Glip Tone just eats up whatever is on there with little to no effort. These tips are polished stainless steel. Yeah, they're definitely polished stainless steel. Sometimes they have a flash coating of chrome, and those are the ones you got to be careful on not to use. Steel wool. So a couple of things that I noticed on this car already. You get a lot of brake dust. You get dirty exhaust tips because the European, Italian cars run rich. You get a lot of black soot coming out the back. That's normal. They all do it. It's just part of owning an Italian car. You also notice you get a little bit of a sulfur smell depending on what fuel you put in. These are just minor things that I've noticed in the last 48 hours. And that's it. That tip is done. We're going to move over to the next side and finish this up. Guys, hope you enjoyed the first wash video of the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. There's going to be many more videos on this car on the channel. Car looks great. It's got really good shine. Doesn't shine as much as a standard black paint. That's because of all the mica and the gray metallic, but I want to show you a close-up. Get inside the wheels. You can see that, the barrel. You can see the shine inside the barrel. That's from the 007. And going in there detailing it. Tires look tight. Car looks awesome. Go back into this wheel. See the barrel. And I'm a real stickler for the barrel, especially on an open spoke wheel design like this. So see you guys soon. Autofanatic@yahoo.com. Please go to my web store, auto-fanatic.com. Pick up a bottle of the 007 gloss enhancer, and please be patient. The wheel cleaner is coming. Hope you guys got some understanding of what I was talking about in the intro of this video when I was cleaning the wheels, but it is coming, and I am not going to put out a subpar product. It's got to be QC. It's got to be done right. So see you guys soon. Thanks for coming along for the ride.